Okay, so we all think we know the story of the woman caught in adultery, right? But what if I told you that the very name of the story is, well, it's a total misdirection, designed to make us miss the entire point. Today we're going to dig into this super famous passage and uncover a meaning that I'm willing to bet you've never heard before.
So the central argument we're looking at it's pretty bold. It says that when it comes to the woman's actual sin, well, that's the last thing this passage is really concerned about. No, the real drama, the true conflict, is happening on a totally different level. See, it has way less to do with her and everything to do with the people accusing her.
All right, so to really get what's happening here, we can't just drop into the middle of the scene. That's a huge mistake. We've got to back up and look at what happened right before this whole confrontation went down. You'll see, the context, it's literally everything. Yeah, see, this whole encounter, it wasn't some random, spontaneous thing. Not at all. This was Plan B. The religious leaders, they'd already tried to arrest Jesus once before, but their own officers came back totally empty-handed, basically saying, "We've never heard anyone speak like this guy." So they had to regroup, and they came up with this new plan, a much more public and what they thought was a completely foolproof trap.
And they set up this trap in the most public place you could imagine, the temple courts, right smack in the middle of one of Jesus' teachings. And let's be super clear here. Their goal has nothing to do with upholding the law, and it has nothing to do with punishing sin. This woman, she's just a tool. She's bait. That's all.
And that right there, that sets up the real conflict. This story isn't about sexual sin versus righteousness. Not even close. It's a full-on showdown between true, divine grace and the absolute hypocrisy of a self-righteous religion that literally uses people as pawns just to hold on to its power.
So, with the stage perfectly set and the bait in place, the Pharisees spring their trap, and they do it with a question that is so perfectly engineered, so cleverly designed, that there is absolutely no way out.
They try to force him into the role of a judge, and you got to notice the wording here, it's so clever. Moses commanded, so what do you say? See what they're doing? They are publicly pitting Jesus against the foundational law of their entire culture, against Moses himself. They're basically screaming, "Pick a side, Jesus. It's either him or you."
And here it is, the gotcha moment. It is a perfect trap. Think about it. If he says, "Stone her," well, then he completely contradicts his own message of mercy and forgiveness. Not to mention, he'd probably get in trouble with the Roman authorities. But if he says, "Let her go," they can immediately turn on him and accuse him of heresy, of defying the secret law of Moses. Either way he answers, he loses. They think they've finally got him.
But instead of answering them, instead of walking right into their perfect little trap, Jesus does something nobody saw coming. He just ignores them, bends down, and in this incredible moment of what is basically masterful theater, he completely flips the script on them.
You know, his response isn't just one clever line. It's this deliberate three-step process. First, he just bends down and starts writing on the ground. The silence, the waiting, it just builds this incredible tension. Then, he stands up and delivers one single powerful challenge. And then, he just bends down and starts writing again, leaving them all to just sit there and stew in the weight of what he just said.
And this is the absolutely crucial part. He doesn't dismiss the law. Not at all. In fact, he upholds it. He's basically saying, okay, fine, the law says to stone her, let's do it. But then he adds one little condition, a qualification that he knows not a single person in that self-righteous crowd could ever possibly meet.
And here's the brilliant reversal. You see, the law itself required that the witnesses, the accusers, had to be the ones to throw the very first stones. And the law implied they had to have clean hands to do it. So by turning the focus onto their sin, Jesus uses the very law they were trying to weaponize against him to completely dismantle their own case. The trap springs, all right, but it catches the ones who set it.
And just like that, the whole self-righteous crowd just dissolves. One by one, starting with the oldest, they drop their stones and walk away. And then there are only two people left standing in that now quiet temple court. The accusers are gone, the spectators are gone. It's just Jesus and the woman.
Now, he doesn't immediately jump to her sin. The first thing he does is actually establish a legal fact. He asks her, "Woman, has no one condemned you?" He's asking if her accusers, the people who brought this case against her in this public court, are still there to press charges. And they aren't. She confirms it, "No one, Lord." And then,
With the human court having basically dismissed itself, Jesus delivers his verdict. And folks, this statement, this is the true climax of the entire story, a verdict that only one person could possibly have the authority to make.
This is absolutely the pivotal moment of the whole encounter. He isn't just saying, hey, it's okay. He is exercising an authority that in their minds belongs to God and God alone. The Pharisees wanted him to act like a judge, and he does, just not the kind of judge they were expecting. He pronounces a divine pardon. This is the moment the entire story was building to. But the story doesn't end there. Nope. The pardon is given, but it comes with something else. It comes with a command that really defines what this kind of powerful grace is all about.
And you have to see these two statements as completely inseparable. They're two sides of the same coin. This is the model for what real grace looks like. It's not one or the other, it's both together. You get a complete and total pardon for the past, and a clear command for how to live in the future.
So the freedom she receives, it isn't just a license to go back to her old life, not at all. It's the power that makes it possible for her to start a completely new one. See, the grace that pardons is the exact same grace that transforms. If you try to have one without the other, you've completely misunderstood the entire message.
So let's circle back. What is this story really about? As we've just seen, it's so much more than a simple lesson on forgiveness. It's a masterclass in exposing hypocrisy, it's a tense legal showdown, and it's a powerful declaration of divine identity. And the question it really leaves us with is this: or are we still getting distracted by the bait? Or are we finally focusing on the one who so brilliantly broke the trap?